Okay, this is getting rather annoying. Third take of actually trying to do this video. So if I don't get it, forget it. Basically, prior release was a long time ago, but I thought I'd probably talk about it. Basically, it was kind of like that Protestant Christian kid, or like you probably see wandering about at the store, but you never really see it again because it's just mainly mainly a thing with Protestants, like they're homeschooled some of the time. But uh, learned a little bit from that. Got a few morals off of being Christian for a while, and just renounce it and get it off my chest, so to speak. So I don't believe in that sort of thing anymore. Nope. The only thing I believe in is energy, energy now and energy forever, sort of thing. Um, a lot of the founding things that I can say for what got me into spirits and working with different types of spirits is kind of two experiences that I'll personally say, aside from one minor experiences. So I've had three events out of my entire life, and two that I can say that are extremely founding in what I believe in nowadays. So the two bigger ones that I can say for sure is that I was on a camp out with a group of mine, some kids and their parents and stuff like that, and we're going up to we were going up to camping out up along the to like Michigan, Tennessee, wherever, I don't know. We stopped at some old Air Force base that is training ground for National Guard nowadays, and they sent us out to one of the unused parts of that base that they use for camping and a lot of conservation stuff that they also use for cope and other survivalist sort of style stuff. Um, on rare occasions. Excuse me. But the biggest problem that I had was that I finally got the tent set up and went to go get a shower. After getting a shower, I'm like, I don't want to walk back, wear my sandals and all this other stuff. And, obviously the path back was muddy from it being right next to a lake. So it had three guys that are just coming back from from just taking whatever else out of out of the trailer we were using. I was grabbing my sleeping bag and tent bag to go set up everything, which um, was a secondary trip, I might add. And a few of the other kids kind of forgot something too, and I was going back with them. I'm like, I don't want to go back because I want to. I'm obviously wanting to get out of these shoes, and no, I had to be stupid and tired and complete and utter screwball. But uh, I go back with these three kids. They grab some of my stuff, and I'm like, okay, this other kid just walks ahead of us, and he's like, I'm not waiting up for you guys. You're going too slow. Like, it leaves the two of us alone. And this kid, so the kid ahead of us sees something, and he's like, my guess is that he was like, he calls back, okay, you're on your own. Like, what? And then I see it. I'm like, what the? Hey, dude, you see that? See what? And I'm like, I was just say, ghost! And I start bolting back the other way. It was like, the kid drops his stuff. I drop my stuff. We're bolting back towards the shower house and the respecting bench by the lake. All I got was a really damn good look at it. I was about 2 or 3 feet away from it, and boy, howdy, I'm never gonna forget that image in my mind. It was this black mass. It looked like with blood or whatever, but this big gaping hole like a shotgun or a mortar shell or something went through this thing, and I'm like, what the hell was that? Well, like 14 or 15 or something like that. When I'm on this camp, and I still remember it to this day. It, needless to say, we pretty much stayed on that bench the entire night. He wasn't happy about me saying ghost, but he didn't want to take any chances. He knew because I knew what I saw, and he was like up to the point where he wanted to go back to camp. He was getting pretty badly. He was really mad about me doing it or something like that. Whatever. All I know is what I saw. So, and that's just that. Um, the second occurrence was right around, right before I quit this group or whatever of kids that are camp out group. Went out to neighbor's dog. Whoops. Um, I'm not gonna make another take of this. Anyways, we went up to like somewhere up in Alabama or whatever. But they have this old Civil War museum and stuff there now. It's really interesting. They also have some pioneer cabins and stuff for reenactors. Uh, and they have this old abandoned mill that is used for grain. And they have a little bit up the ways on this river that's on this mill was a bloomery that they used to make cannons and cast iron and you can many things as you could possibly name. Excuse me. um, so I had a really weird idea as I was a bit of by this point a bit of a ghost nut. So like the whole paranormal investigation thing. I have these other groups that are scattered about. Some like I guess you could say like preteen guys, and then you have some other the other group that would be me and a few other guys, and then the adults that are with the teens to take care of whoever else, and the teens cook for the little ones and stuff like that. So that was basically how organized. And I had one of the kids that we were all bored. We didn't have much else to do. Didn't have any activities, so we say, okay, well, we're not supposed to be wandering about at night, but the whole like premise of going out to the mill was pretty much out there for discussions. I said like, okay, well, why don't we go ghost hunting? I'm like, well, I only got a few people there. And the first time we went out, we went to the bridge, and I'm like, no, we gotta go over that way. I'm like, yeah, they went up the bridge anyways. They all ran ahead, and they're all excited and such. And then you have these two guys that are always the practical jokers of the group. They come up to the bridge. They're laying down flat on said bridge, and then they just pop up. They have their shirts up over their heads. It's like, then they just start walking slowly towards us, and then like, I knew what they were up to. Like, you know, ghost. Like, I know what debunking is, and there ain't no ghost. Of course, a few of them scattered. They're like, okay, whatever, just forget this. They just go right back to their respective camps. I'm like, okay, I gather up like 4 or 5 of them, and I gather up said practical jokers just to see if they actually find something out. And turns out, well, I don't know what they were up to, but or what game they were playing. But at first, I'm like, okay, well, let's go up the mill. And she's like, finally see something. It was like a glint or something off the flashlight I was carrying. And then I see that glint go over towards where the water wheel was. And I'm like, that's kind of suspicious. And it's like one of the kids say, hey, you just see that? I'm like, and I focus my flashlight a little bit better. It's like, hey, okay, what is it? And I see this lady in old style, Southern Belle style dress. I'm like, okay, she's very much see through. Like, the guy's eyes behind me. I kind of looked over like, you see that? Oh, they're like, they just take off. It's like no more practical jokers. You don't be messing with me anymore, are you? But kid that was like next to me, he's from the other camp. He still wanted to stick around. Like he wanted to go. He was like, no, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. He was like, I'm sitting here. Like, no, you're staying with me. uh, Pretty much. We eventually got to the point where like, hey, are you lost? Blah blah blah. And that whole crossing over sort of thing. Got to the point that I found out what she was, where her name was, and stuff like that. She kind of, I don't know what it was. I guess you could call it telepathy, in short. But um, I was the one that was getting contact. He couldn't hear a damn thing. I was saying, and he's kind of getting into the whole ghost hunting thing with me. I don't. I was just being the typical noobish, unprofessional ghost hunters that you would see elsewhere, just for the hell of it. But basically goes off of like up to the point like, okay, blah blah blah. And she says, okay, well, I'll leave you what I actually got killed by over by this rock over by the mill. I'm like, come morning, you can come and get it. And she just disappears. And I guess she did cross over, but I'm not sure why. So Come morning, the other group decided to go home early. That but the group that I was with was still packing up, so I'm like, okay, I pack up my tent early. I mean, I've gotten absolutely proficient at it by this point, and just pack it up. It's like, hey, where are you going? It's like, okay, I'm going over to the mill. Well, you're not supposed to be over there. Like that's gonna stop me. I ended up sneaking out. Because I want to figure out what to do with that. And I got a little bit of a trinket from out of that. It's like this little ball, about that size, lead ball, musket ball, no less, right behind the rock, right where she said it was. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. This is freaking awesome. So like, I got my first bit of evidence that I could still say from a lifetime, I found this because of a ghost. I'm like, yes. I'm I'm trying to hold back, or like, screaming out like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm trying to celebrate because I know that everybody else is like, okay, well, is anybody else here? Um, I'm just completely and totally geeking out at this point. I'm like, Ghost Hunter's Paradise. Yes. It's freaking awesome, but I mean, I know she ain't there anymore. That's the thing. So, yeah, you could say like there's an urban legend for sure that would come out of that place. Civil War. Eh, well, after that is like up to the point where another year later, I'm like, I kind of finally hit puberty. I'm in high school, that sort of thing. Things really start kicking off. And I start, every time I go by a graveyard, I'm seeing something in that graveyard that's not supposed to be there. And I'm not, I'm just keeping my mouth shut and mind my own business. And up to the point where I finally say, I say like, okay, I get Arcolm sent back for me from my future self, like what me now is, and he's like, okay, you're kind of sick, you look sick, blah 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 blah. Replaced my soul, and booted me back to where I needed to be. So that's back then. That's how I believe it went down, but no, that was kind of, it's like, okay, I thought she was taking me over because I thought she was a demon or something. No, she wasn't. I sent her back. I literally sent her back to do that. So without her, I wouldn't be here now. A lot of the weird things that happen around me are either impact my life or impact what happens in the future of said life. So you never know. Nonetheless, I'm just going around finding different types of spirits just for the hell of entertainment. I'm in high school. I'm bored. I'm lonely. I don't have many friends. I'm just focusing on schoolwork, or trying to, because of some relatively dirty issues. Because I've got glasses. I look weird, and yeah. There's some interesting times. You don't really talk about your high school years unless you really feel like they're impactful for the rest of your life. For me, there were some pretty impactful times. I saw quite a few spirits while I was around at that high school campus. Nothing else. Nothing else could be far from the truth of. I could not see anything there other than what nobody else could see. So eventually that got me to the point of like, okay, well, even more into mysticism, and then it got to the point that, okay, astral projection, let's try this, blah, 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 and then Arcon pops in, and sheesh, things really start kicking off. So, in a way, without all those events for where I was, where I am now, versus what happened then, it pretty much comes full circle, I guess. So, that's about it. When it comes to spirit work, sheesh, you've got some really interesting stuff going on there.